My name is Sabrina. I am 34 years old. I work in a big company. Every day I go to my job. I am an employee there. I do not have a lot of money, but I always make sure my clothes are clean. I like to look neat and tidy. Some people say I am pretty, but I do not like it when people give me too much attention. I just want to do my work. Then I want to go home. I do not want any problems at work. My job is important to me. My boss's name is Richard. He is 42 years old. He always wears nice suits. Richard is a very serious man. He does not smile much, but sometimes he smiles at me. I try not to think about these smiles. But Richard started coming to my desk every day. He would ask about my work, but that wasn't the only reason he came. I felt his eyes on me. It made me feel uncomfortable. One afternoon, he stood at my desk. He looked at me and said, "Sabrina, you work very hard here. You always do good work. You deserve more for your hard work." I smiled and said, "Thank you, Richard." But inside, I did not feel happy. That night, I could not sleep well. I thought about Richard. Why did he say that? What did he mean by "you deserve more"? The next week, Richard called me to his office. My heart beat fast. As I walked there, I thought maybe I did something wrong. When I sat down, he said, "Sabrina, I want to talk about your salary." I felt a little happy. A salary increase would help me a lot. He said, "You are one of the best workers in this company. You do excellent work every day. You truly deserve a raise." I felt happy. Richard looked at me for a moment. Then he said, "Maybe we can talk about this more at dinner. We can discuss your new salary there." I did not know what to say. Dinner with my boss. Was this a good idea? I did not want to say no to my boss. It was about my salary after all. I just nodded. He smiled again. I left his office, feeling confused. Richard said the restaurant was very nice by the sea. When I arrived, Richard was already there. He wore a casual shirt, not his office suit. "You look beautiful, Sabrina," he said. His words made me feel shy. We sat at a table. First we talked about work. But then Richard asked about my dreams, my hobbies. Then he talked about himself. He told me he felt lonely sometimes. He said he worked hard and had little time for himself. He said I was different. I felt special. While we talked and laughed, Richard took my hand. I knew this was not right. He was my boss and this was not professional. But I did not move my hand. I let him hold it. After dinner, Richard asked if I wanted to go to his apartment. He said we could talk more there. I felt unsure, but I said yes. We walked a short distance. His apartment was quiet. I sat on a sofa. Richard sat next to me. My heart began to beat fast. He took my hand. Then he kissed me. It was a long kiss. I did not stop him. That night, I stayed at his apartment. I slept with Richard, my boss. It felt like a dream, but it was real. The next morning, I woke up early. Richard was still sleeping next to me. I felt strange. Soon he woke up. He smiled at me and said, "Don't worry, Sabrina. I will take care of you." I wanted to believe him. Later that morning, I went to work. Richard also came to the office. He did not say anything about last night. He just talked about work. Days passed. I waited for the salary increase Richard promised me, but nothing happened. He did not talk about it. When I tried to ask him, he always said, "Be patient. It takes time." Soon Richard changed. He stopped coming to my desk. He did not smile at me. In meetings he did not look at me. He was very cold, like a stranger. I felt very bad. My heart hurt. Richard only used me. He did not care about me. I felt angry and sad. I knew I had to talk to him. I wanted to know why he lied to me. One afternoon, I knocked on his office door. He asked me to come inside. I said, "Richard, you promised me that you would increase my salary." He said, "Sabrina, this is not good. You must not mix personal things with work. That is not professional." I felt angry. How could he say that? I said, "You were the one who started it. You invited me to dinner. You promised me things." Richard stood up from his chair. He said, "Enough, Sabrina. Go back to your desk now. We will not talk about this again. This conversation is over." My heart broke. My eyes were full of tears. I walked out of his office. I felt empty. I couldn't focus on my work anymore. My mind was not clear. In the office, people started talking about Richard and me. I thought maybe someone had seen us together. One afternoon, my phone rang. It was a call from the HR manager, Miss Harper. She asked me to come to her office for a meeting. When I sat in front of Miss Harper, she looked serious. She asked me about my relationship with Richard. I wanted to say nothing, but then I remembered his fake promises. I told Miss Harper everything. She listened carefully. After I finished, she told me that the company would start an investigation. Richard said that I was lying, but the HR team found messages he had sent to me. Richard was fired from the company. He was gone, but my life did not become easier. In fact, it became much harder. My colleagues thought I was the reason Richard lost his job. They called me bad names. Every day at work was difficult. I did not want to go to the office. Few weeks later, I received a letter from the company. It said, that I could not work there anymore. They wanted to protect company's image. I could not believe what I just read. I had lost my job. No one said goodbye to me. No one looked at me as I left. I had no job, no plan. When I arrived at my apartment, I sat down and cried. I cried for many hours. I felt very angry. I was angry at Richard. But I was also angry at myself. Why did I believe him? Why did I not stop it? I had lost everything. A month passed after I lost my job. It was a difficult time. I felt sad and worried. Finding new job was not easy. I sent my CV to make companies. Finally, I got a job in a company. My new boss, Mr. Terry, was respectful. He talked only about work. I felt safe and comfortable here. I worked hard at my new job. My new boss praised me for my good work. Before, I sometimes felt that I needed someone else to take care of me, but now I can take care of myself. I had learned to protect myself and to stand up for what was right. I knew my worth, and that was the most important lesson of all. If you liked this story, please like, comment, share and subscribe.